welcome to Tanach Tea. We just ate chicken for like 20 minutes.
BH.
We're ready to start.
BH.
I'd like to welcome Mikey Greenblatt to the show. Thanks so much for joining us. I want to say that I reached out to Mikey after having David HaMelech on like
Can I just
a
pause
year
right
ago.
there?
Yeah.
My career has become after Dovey Newberger. Shout out to him, but that is a sentence that I've been hearing. I got a call recently for a gig, and they're like, "We couldn't afford Dovey Newberger. Are you interested?" I'm like, "You didn't need to say that first part at all, did you?"
I should have left that out.
No.
No, I'll tell you why I said that.
It's important for me in my career that you keep that in, actually.
I'll tell you why I said that, because you wouldn't think Tanach Tea would have comedians on, you know?
Right,
but then I had Dovey on and I realized, wait, we could have comedians on. So
Dovey is walking so that I could run. So thank you, Dovey Newberger. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. But yeah, I want to say that you reached out like literally 10 months later, and you're like, hey, remember 10 months ago?
Yeah.
You reached out, let's do it. So I just thought that was awesome.
No, of course. I was searching Miami in my DMs, seeing what connections I could do, seeing if I could get a free meal of, what is it? What did we just have?
Tens.
Thames fried chicken.
Sponsorship. Yeah.
Thames, shout out for Thames fried chicken. And Baruch Hashem, it all worked out. So happy to be here.
Yeah. Well, also, this is our first on-the-go podcast. We always record in my house, but now we're in my parents' house. Right. And you could actually see Donald Trump and my dad over there on the other shot with Debbie
Shout
and Or.
Shout out Donald Trump. Shout out your dad.
Debbie and Or traveling.
Donald Trump,
with
big
the
fan
pod.
of the podcast.
Yeah. So welcome. It's really excited to have you here.
Thanks. Thank you.
So I asked Mikey before we started if he knows what we do on Tanach Tea, and
Yeah.
he said,
I think you guys talk about Tanakh and have tea, perhaps not in that order, but I do think those are two.
we started with tea. First of all, how's the tea?
The tea is great, but it set my expectations high for the Tanakh, so.
We usually have better tea at my house, I have to be honest.
You got it.
I'm not hating on my dad's house, but I don't have my repertoire over here.
Yeah.
But the way we do it at Tanach Tea is the way we start off with what we call Tanach Barbershop Talk.
Okay.
Which is, we'll do topics like who would be the ninth Ushpizin and who would the female Ushpizin be? Or if you had to make a team of basketball players from Tanakh, who would it be? You know, something that like people would talk about in the barbershops in like Yerushalayim, you know, like Tel Aviv.
Right.
So Tanach Barbershop Talk for today. Do you know Zach Lennox? Would you happen to know Zach Lennox? Shout out Zach Lennox.
Is he related to me?
No, he's online as an influencer.
Well, he
He's got a
technically
podcast.
is.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's your brother.
Yeah, I met him at
Yeah.
Sinai. Yeah.
So I was on the phone with him today, and I was like, "You having a good Tanach Barbershop Talk?" We were just schmoozing, we were bouncing off each other, and we came up with this idea of if characters from Tanakh, people from Tanakh, not characters, they're real, but if people from Tanakh had a podcast, who would it be? What would their podcast be like? Who could we compare it to? So I guess we could just go round table. I obviously want to start with Mikey. You're the talented comedian here.
That's
so
true.
I feel like,
I am better than all of you.
right.
So I'm glad
but
that
I
you
will
pointed
throw out
that
the
out.
easy joke. I'll throw out the easy joke.
Yeah, throw out the easy joke.
The easy joke, which I feel is beneath you, would be like the Haman Tucker Carlson. Like that's beneath you.
That is, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. I don't even know either of those people. That's how little I think about that.
I actually saw a picture of like Tucker Carlson in the Oval Office with Trump, and then on top of it, it says like, there's a people in your nation, they're scattered, they don't listen to the laws, and it was so good.
Trump is the Achashverosh of today.
Totally.
That's how I imagine
You know how when
Achashverosh
people learn the
sounded.
Megillah and they're always like, I don't understand, was Achashverosh smart? Was he dumb? Because everybody always has their different interpretations of Achashverosh, and I realized it's just like in real time they didn't know. Like if you ask people today about Trump,
they both
you'll get all
destroyed
these different
Persia.
opinions.
Trump and Achashverosh both were responsible for the downfall of the Ayatollah. So there's a lot of things in common, I think, that they have.
Yeah, I would agree. So I already took the Tucker Carlson Haman podcast.
Okay, dang,
but
there goes my idea.
But I mean, if you want, you can make Haman someone else, like Candace Owens. Like it's your.
Haman would be Candace Owens.
By the way, so much more Candace
Haman's
Owens.
just there to like stir the pot. He's just in the story to stir, and he's vengeful. Because Mordechai's Ben Shapiro. Mordechai's Ben Shapiro, and Haman is
Candace. That's the beef,
Owens.
100%. And her hate of Ben Shapiro led her to hate all the Jews.
Yeah,
it's
exactly. It's a 1-2 punch.
And Ben Shapiro is powerful. Mordechai was powerful. If you look in the Megillah, he was up there in the government. Ben is not officially government, but
Mordechai had a lot to say about abortion and climate change, and also Ben Shapiro. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah.
So I think we're good for Mordechai and Haman. I think that's a perfect comp. So
yeah. Well, I think if we stay in the
Purim
story of Purim, I think Esther I mean, no one talks about how that girl had to have some good charisma to get Achashverosh. I mean, what was it, 127 provinces, something like that?
She is one of the 4 best-looking women of all time, according to the Gemara.
She must be, and then that automatically puts her as the best-looking Jewish woman ever.
Well, the other 3 were Jewish, according to the Gemara.
Really?
Well, one of them's a convert, Rachav, Yehoshua's wife.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm sorry. If you've seen, no offense, Jewish lady, literally right across from me, but the fact that Achashverosh chose a Jewish woman, it's the equivalent of like when like Jack and Quinn Hughes just won Olympic gold as like Jewish hockey players for the U.S.
Well, it's hockey. I feel like if it was basketball,
hockey we at least have skates.
Yeah.
Right. It's the playing field is even.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's the Denny Avdia of Jewish.
Denny
woman.
is Esther.
Denny is Esther.
Yeah.
I mean,
because Esther's not the type to have a podcast. She's too quiet, you know.
Yeah. She's quiet, but she was composed. She won over. I don't know what she said to Achashverosh. I don't know if they go into that, but she must have been good looking. She should do a dating podcast. Is what I would say. I think Esther's dating corner. How to get a guy out of your league.
Well, I don't know if she's that. Like, she's
Listen,
one of the 4 most beautiful women ever.
No, I know. But if it's catered towards Jewish women, then
right. So I can actually tell you something. I have the book of Esther, the Mamla, is in front of me, and one of the commentaries that he quotes over here says that all the other women would have, if they knew Esther was Jewish, they would have made jokes that, like, come on, Jewish women, they give no chance in winning this competition.
Way.
He says that.
Wow.
And he said the joke's on them because a Jewish woman was chosen.
Right.
And also everyone in the empire was obsessed with Esther because she had, her name is Hadassah, her Hebrew name, which Hadass is like, the plant, and has a deep olive complexion. And so she had a deep olive complexion.
By the way, do you know what Esther means?
Hidden.
Isn't that insane that her name was originally Hadassah, and then Mordechai's like, oh, we don't want Achashverosh to be suspicious, so why don't you change your name to Hidden? Can you imagine Achashverosh? Like, what gives away more, the fact that someone's named Myrtle Branch or Hidden?
Right. I mean,
do you think that's hiding something?
Her name was.
Why would you name yourself Hidden? That's like if I name myself like Epstein Files. Like, it's a crazy thing to do.
He knew. Well, he was trying to figure out her identity.
Right, because her name was hidden.
Right,
I'd
exactly.
be trying to, if a bit of a red flag on a first date if I'm like to a girl, what's your name? And she's like, definitely wasn't in prison or something, like that's a bit of a tell.
Yeah. So anyways, the commentary was saying that because she looked like kind of just generic Middle Eastern, that every single one of the provinces thought that she was for sure from their country because she's so beautiful. It's like, she has to be one of us.
She was Miss Universe, the OG.
She was Miss Universe, yeah.
Wow.
Well, the way Achashverosh did his competition was he wanted to be that she's objectively beautiful, but also subjectively beautiful. So he had a minister in every country pick a Miss country of the 127 provinces.
Yeah.
And then once he had 127 to choose from that they're objectively beautiful, then he subjectively chose the best one. So she literally was Miss Universe.
Wow. Do you think it was like, have you ever watched those like viral clips of Miss Universe contestants answering questions and they're just answering the dumbest? Like,
I can't say I've seen it.
There's this one viral video of them asking like Miss Alabama or something what she thinks about the war in Iraq, like
I think I've heard
10
that
years
one.
ago, and she's like, I think Iraq is bad because Afghanistan and George Bush, and like it didn't make any sense. Do you think that it was the same thing with Esther? Like Achashverosh was asking them tough political questions?
I
doubt it.
I actually think it really did not go like that because the way his system worked, he was just sleeping with a different girl every night and kind of choosing her based off that.
Wow, what a time to be alive, huh?
He didn't sleep with Esther though before. She was so beautiful. He's like, I don't want to ruin it. And it's crazy because Vashti was beautiful. Listen to this. Vashti was beautiful and Vashti was a bad wife. And so when he saw how beautiful Esther was, he's like, I've been duped by beauty before. Even though every other girl he's been trying before, with Esther, he's like, I know if I sleep with her, I'll be too attached. And I won't know if her midot are up to par. So Achashverosh, this guy who's sleeping with different girls from around the country, taking girls against their will every single night, was still like, you know what? She's legit. I need to be shomer with her.
Wow.
Which is like, I don't know.
No, that's a great plug for shomer negiah.
Great plug for
like
shomer
not
negiah.
to touch before marriage.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I guess it's just a plug for don't touch the ones that you're thinking about marrying, because that's what Achashverosh did.
Don't touch the ones that you're
Don't
thinking.
touch. Yeah, that's the message here. Don't touch the ones you're thinking of marrying. You can touch the other ones. That's fine.
If
Just don't
we're
touch
learning
the
from
ones you're gonna-
Achashverosh.
Yeah. If you're learning
that
from
caveat,
Achashverosh.
Tanach Tea, I don't want to, but anyways, I want to throw it to Debbie and or if you guys have somebody from Tanach who you think would have. It doesn't have to be from the Purim story. We've kind of exhausted all the characters, though maybe Vashti would have a podcast too.
Oh yeah, Vashti would be call her daddy or whatever.
Right, feminism all the way, you know.
Yeah. What? I can't show up naked to my husband's party? What's next? Unequal pay? I don't know.
So, you have anywhere else in Tanakh you want to turn to?
So I was thinking, you guys know the podcast Where Should We Begin by Esther Perel? She's like a psychologist who does therapy sessions in the podcast. She's like all about intimacy and like relationships, and like because this week is this Parsha Tetzaveh, it's all about Aaron. And I was thinking, I'm like, he's the perfect podcast host to be like the OG psychiatrist, you know? Aaron brought everyone together. His thing was relationships and husbands and wives. And apparently when he died, everyone eulogized him. And there was like 40,000 babies that were named Aaron because those were the 40,000 couples that he brought together. So I think Aaron would be my pick for a podcast like that style. It's like huge. It's one of the biggest podcasts in the country.
I haven't heard of it, but I think that's a great call. He'd be like a very calm, like Zen-like podcast.
And she, by the way, her vibe is like very, okay, like this, you know? And I'm like, oh, that's Aaron.
That's a great call.
There's definitely people that needed therapy.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, they were coming off a pretty rough ride.
Yeah, no, for sure. Also, the Erev was that the name? Like the Jews that went back to, like, they needed therapy. Talk about an identity crisis. Can you imagine you're wandering with the Jews? You're like, I don't belong here. This is like, it's like American Jew or Jewish American.
Also, 80% of the Jews in Egypt died.
Oh,
during
died.
Scotia. I don't know if you've heard that one.
Oh, wow. Because they wanted to stick around.
They identified as Egyptians, and you have to identify as Jewish in order to dip. And so you have to think about, like, a lot of people's family members must have been dead. Like, look, 80%, it's a high number.
Yeah.
There's actually one opinion that it was 98.8%, which is
the intermarriage rate in America.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would make a good psychologist. I need to talk to Aaron. I don't know if he'd be covered by my insurance, so that's the only thing.
I think he would see you like pro bono.
Yeah.
He was like, 100%.
Like I'd have to pay him in like Egel Hazahaz or something.
Wow. What a low blow.
He's like, I only take gold.
What a low blow.
Sorry, just saying.
That was good. That was a good Torah joke, though.
Thank you. I am a professional comedian. So, just like Dovey Newberger. One and the same.
Or you got any Tanakh?
I do. But I changed up the rules a little bit. I decided to do a vlog.
Okay.
Right? Which guy would do a vlog? I think it would be Yosef.
I mean, that would be an interesting vlog.
That guy's always happy.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Literally. He's like, look at me now. My brother's just sold me from the pit, right? Like filming himself.
They make these AI stuff now, and it's really cool. Like when they take you like into like history like that, and if they do it right.
Yeah. So cool. And they like pound each other, and then it's the next. I'm like, that's sick.
I'm thinking of like Yosef in the Promised Land being like, I'm so cool. I said no to the wife, you know, like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could also see him as like a Mr. Beast type. Like, he's like, I survived in a pit for 12 hours. Like, it's clickbait. Like, Yosef
literally.
I wore a rainbow coat. You won't believe what happened next.
Come on, my brothers. You know, they don't know. Hidden cameras everywhere.
A mistress tried to get me. You won't believe it. Like, it works every single time.
Watch my brothers bow down to me. I'm calling it.
Yeah. I'd click on that. That's good clickbait right there.
You know, would be a good podcast. Korach would be like. He'd be putting out a podcast like, you know, For the People podcast. I don't know. Also somewhere on the right, woke right.
Alex Jones.
Maybe, yeah.
Korach Jones.
Moshe, nepotism, you know? So Korach would for sure start a pod. That would be the way he would.
Yeah, rebellious podcast, fringe kind of podcast.
Yeah, and Yirmiyahu would be like a Chicken Little podcast. Like, the sky is falling, you know. Bet to make this is going to be destroyed. Believe me, the end is near.
Oh, you know, it would be a sad but like philosophical one. Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon. He'd be like Tim Ferriss. You guys know Tim Ferriss? He's like very into like 4-hour work week, whatever. I feel like Shlomo HaMelech has some wisdom to dole out. But then at the end, it'd just be like, anyways, it's all pointless and we're all going to die. So it'd be a little negative. He's like, here's it. Like, wake up, cold shower, meditate, you know, pray for 2 hours, go to your work, and then we're all going to die. And I'm like, oh, well, start it off.
His podcast would be the type you have to like shut off at some point.
Yeah. Like every single sponsorship is just from BetterHelp or whatever. It's all just Headspace, BetterHelp, and Calm sponsorships.
I feel like he's like a Lex Friedman type of guy. Shlomo.
Maybe.
Very smart. Is he a coder or whatever?
Who, Lex Friedman?
No, Lex is like Lex is smart, but he's got a very like specific way of talking.
I think Shlomo would have a little bit more character, but he's always saying something profound, right? Yeah, like nothing ever funny. I don't see Shlomo HaMelech being like funny.
Nah,
Yeah,
there wasn't
right?
a lot of jokes in Kohelet. Not that I know.
No,
Not that,
no.
I mean, maybe I misread it, but it didn't start off like two men walk into a bar. I think it was just we're all gonna die. Nothing
It's
new.
all
Nothing
point.
new under
It's
the
all
sun.
point. He's like Rick. You know, Rick, you ever seen Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Oh God, the sun's going down, right?
Yeah.
You forgot the little vomit part.
You have anybody else have any other
I was
podcasts you wanna
thinking
throw out?
of like Yitro being like a day in the life. Like every podcast is like him experimenting with a different religion.
Like,
Oh,
nah,
yeah.
You know, a day in the life of Baal
The
Peor.
non-
You
the
know, or what?
non-Jewish Yitro. He takes care of the Bnei Israel, literally the children of Israel, and then he converts to Judaism at the end. But then you
Exactly.
still
There's a
tell
guy
on
who
it.
tries every religion and like puts out videos. He's from Israel. He's
Oh, really?
Palestinian, like Nas.
Oh, Nas. Yeah, Nas Daily.
Nas Daily. So like he puts out like a Judaism for a day, Christian for a day. So that's literally Yitro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then in the end, Nas is very pro. Like he's Israeli. He
Yeah.
identifies more Israeli than Palestinian, and he's very.
You're saying at the end of the day, Judaism is the correct religion. That's a bold statement to make on the Tanach Tea podcast. I'm just
Listen,
saying.
I don't want
For
to.
all your non-Jewish followers that listen to the Tanach Tea,
You'd be
they're
surprised.
like, I'm here for
actually.
the tea. What is this Tanach?
You'd be surprised.
about
I get
tea.
comments from like evangelical Christians all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and some haters, like
Oh,
some free
wow.
Palestiners. You know.
That's how you know you're making it. When I do a video and I get one free Palestine comment, I'm like, it's going viral.
Yeah. My
ideal.
third episode. I remember it when the moment the comment came on. I was like, all right, we're here now.
Yeah. You've made it.
Yeah.
Tanach and tea and free Palestine.
Right.
Love it.
So we just jumped right into Tanach Barbershop Talk, but I forgot to even like introduce you to my audience. They might not even know who
Oh
you are.
yeah. If you don't know
So-
who I am, if you need a minion, call me. I am a professional. As of 2 weeks ago, like I said, I'm now full-time stand-up comedian, which again has nothing to do with the fact that I was fired from my job 2 weeks ago. Just a happy coincidence that I decided to go full stand-up comedian. Thank you.
Would you continue being a full stand-up comedian if somebody watching this said, you know, hey, I got a job for you?
It would depend on the job. That sounds very ominous. If someone would DM me and they said, I saw you on the Tanach and Tea podcast, and I think you'd be great for this coding boot camp for Google. Like, I don't know what connection. Unless
Hey,
I
you
could
never
become a, what's the place called?
Tens.
If I become 10's spokesperson, I'll take that job. So 10's, if you're watching, I will eat your chicken on camera. No shame. Yeah, full-time stand-up comedian, and I do improv workshops for the kinder, for the youth, teach them how to be funny, and I combat anti-Semitism somehow. I haven't figured that out, but I think I do it. Or promote it. I don't know. Depends on the show, quite honestly.
I think just by being Jewish, you promote it.
I promote it. Yeah, I'm a kiddush Hashem. What can I say?
So, Mikey, where are you from?
I'm from Englewood, New Jersey. Originally, I'm from Englewood Hospital, Englewood, New Jersey. If you want to really go back, originally, I'm from Leslie Greenblatt. If I would say that was my home base for 9 months.
What got you into comedy? Like, I feel like there's, as we were talking before the pod, there's like a few Jewish comics.
There's all comics are Jewish, and then there's a few Jewish comics.
Right.
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every other comic you're gonna see is Jewish.
Right.
And then there's a few Jewish comics.
Yeah. Emphasis on the ish.
And, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is a joke almost every Jewish comic I've ever seen that is culturally Jewish does. Yeah, I'm objectively funny, so that definitely helps with comedy. High score on every possible comedian test that I could take. And yeah, class clown. I mean, growing up, like modern Orthodox, you didn't think stand-up comedy was anything you could go. It's not even a consideration. Like, I wanted to be an actor growing up, and that was already like a crazy thing. Like, there's something wrong with the Jewish education, or maybe something right when you're 7 years old, and like in normal schools, they're like, I want to be a fireman and policeman. And in our schools, they're like, I want to be an accountant or a lawyer or work in software engineering. Like, these are the 7-year-old goals. So,
You think we take life a little too seriously?
as a comedian, you're asking a comedian if I think we take life a little too seriously. Yeah, I think we take, not only that, I think Jewish dads are the hardest audience because they both take life too seriously and think they're funnier than everyone, which doesn't make sense because they're very serious, but also at the same time think they're funnier. It's like, choose a lane, But yeah, I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. What got me really into it was I used to be in improv, which is more like kind of team building stuff, like whose line is it anyway type stuff. And I would we would have stand-up comedians at our improv shows to kind of like break it up a bit. And inevitably, we'd have what you call Jewish comedians, and they go on stage, and like their first line is always, "I grew up Jewish," and then it's the most like anti-Semitic caricature of a Jewish person, and I like bagels and money, and it's like, okay, first of all, who doesn't like bagels and money? But we're about more than that. So I really wanted to just humanize Judaism. So that's what kind of got me into it, and also my desperate need for attention, which I would say is the bigger component.
So besides the desperate need for
I
attention,
actually thought that was hilarious. I think that should have got. I think you guys are a little tight on this podcast. I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling the energy. You guys gotta take a breath. Breathe. Everyone good? You haven't breathed yet.
the tea,
I'm holding it now since you said breathe.
Yeah, I know.
the tea
will loosen you guys up. I'm hoping once we get into it a little more, you guys will feel a little more
yeah, if we discuss more Tanakh, maybe.
loosey goosey from the tea. Yeah.
So, who would you say is your biggest influence?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Seinfeld?
Easy. He is a philosopher of comedy. When I watch his comedy, I don't necessarily like crack up like I would maybe Shane Gillis, Louis C.K., Patrice O'Neill, these kind of guys. But
They're more like stupid funny. He's like subtle funny.
He's observational funny. He takes everyday life and makes it funny, which is it's the
genius.
hardest thing to do.
It's
in
genius.
Comedy. Yeah, you would think it's easy, like, oh,
No.
you just observe something and then make it funny. So hard. So, and also, if anyone ever wants to learn about the life of a stand-up comedian or the philosophy, just listen to any of his interviews, and it'll open up your world into like what it is to be a stand-up comedian.
So you really are a Jewish comic through and through.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Seinfeld was a comedian that's Jewish.
Right.
He's been amazing with like being a supporter of Israel and whatnot, but I think
He gets a lot of anti-Semitic hate.
He does, and really like people protesting his shows just show you that it's not anti-Zionism. It's just pure anti-Semitism. I mean, the fact that he's up there making a joke about having tiny little snacks on airplanes, and then someone's like "Free Palestine." I'm like, come on, like you could have waited until you could maybe tangentially connect something to Israel. Like maybe he was talking about, I don't know, some kind of Jewish thing, but they just yell it, whatever. So yeah, you have to accept that they're going to exist. That's like,
They don't even try anymore. They used to try and hide it.
yeah, it used to be nice. I used to post a video that like somehow related to Israel or whatever. Free Palestine. I get it. But if I'm posting like a video about like an outfit that I wore to Shol, don't Free Palestine me.
I feel like it's just to bring it back to the Megillah. I feel like it's
Please do. Yeah, this was going off the rails.
It's a little bit like Haman, who in the beginning he was kind of like being sly, and then he's just like, all right, like
He's just gonna fall out.
let's just there's a people who
Let's just kill him.
All right,
he
let's
kept
just
it
kill them
vague,
all.
and it's Candace Owens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the beginning, Candace was like trying to like gaslight us.
Yeah.
And now
There's a people who control, and a lot of their last names end with Berg, and you're like, what? Sounds like a people.
They're
name.
bankers.
Yeah. They happen to be bankers.
So anybody else have any other podcasts before we move on to just talking about exclusively the Megillah?
I think also.
If you want to jump around Tanakh a little bit.
I think Shaul.
I actually thought of that one. That would be a great one.
Shaul would be though like
That'd be propaganda.
that'd be propaganda podcast.
guess-
Yeah,
Indeed,
he's
yeah.
a
That'd be
wild
like,
guy.
Yeah.
Wild. I think he would.
It'd be interesting because like after he kind of like loses it, I'm sure he's kind of like going on that podcast and just go in any direction, depending on how he's feeling that day.
I actually see him being like Kanye.
I was just thinking that, but I didn't want to say it
yeah.
because Kanye is like an anti-Semite and like
Right.
respect Shaul,
No, like
but-
Kanye, like his original hits.
Shaul is
started off
yeah,
strong.
exactly.
It's true. It is a perfect
Started off
comp.
strong,
Yeah.
had some great albums, and then
He's an Israelite, right?
yeah, Israelite. Yeah,
He's an Israelite.
He's a black Israelite. He had some great psalms.
He did.
and then I think maybe he got jealous of the younger
He just
talent.
lost it,
Right.
and then like right before because now Kanye apologized like a year ago, I think.
Yeah, Shaul had a
apologized.
Shaul like
apology,
apologized. He's like, yeah, I'm not crazy. Then he goes back. Yeah.
Shaul apologizes to the beat multiple times. And he's like, I know you're gonna be the next king. I'm sorry for trying to kill you. And then he tries to kill him like 3 months later. And he's like, and then again, he's like, I'm sorry. Like I don't know what got into me. So he literally
Sounds
does.
like he was a little bipolar.
Well, yes. That's a good one. That's a great one.
I was thinking for Candace Owens, because you mentioned, I was thinking Jezebel is Candace Owens, because she also is like the conspiracy theories with the guy who wanted to, the guy who had the vineyard, Nabot, was that his name?
Yeah.
He had the vineyard, and her husband Ahab wanted the vineyard, and she starts polluting everything, and all these conspiracy. I'm like, when I thought of Candace, I'm like, And I was watching her today.
You know, Candace would take it to the very end.
100% would take it to the end.
To the very end, she's like standing on that, like
yes,
to the bitter end, and you know Candace will never ever like turn around.
Yeah, and it's insidious, and then it's like so bad, you know. And then imagine Eliyahu, he would be like, you know, no.
Yeah. So who's Eliyahu here?
Eliyahu maybe like Charlie Kirk vibes, you know, like straight in your face, like this is what's happening. So you know, false prophets out.
Was trying to kill. What's like you think Isabel was trying to kill?
This is here's why you're a false. Exactly.
She was.
False
right?
prophets are coming up to him on a college campus, and they're saying,
"Oh my gosh, yes, exactly. That's so good."
I was building on what you were saying. It was a yes and improv moment, really.
Isabel secretly has a crush on Eliyahu. Because that's what people are saying about Candace, that she secretly likes Charlie. And
that she was in love with Charlie.
Yeah, whatever. We've never been political on this podcast at all.
Right.
But
we're mentioning political figures and also comparing Candace Owens to like a genocidal creature. But we're not saying anything really. I mean,
I wonder if this is going to be a controversial episode. But as you said, the majority of my viewers
listen. If you can get
Jewish.
Candace, if Candace Owens comments on the Tanach Tea podcast, you've made it, my friend.
That's the ultimate free
Candace
Palestine.
Owens, friends of the show. Yeah.
The ultimate free Palestine moment.
If Candace Owens is in your eating Thames next week, Mashiach is coming.
You know, it's like Bad Bunny. He wanted us to hate his show.
Really?
Like a lot of people, I feel like, yeah, the fact that even the people who didn't like it talked about it.
Oh, I just watched the Kid Rock halftime. I didn't even watch that.
Just kidding. That's not what you did. I'll buy that for a second.
I didn't have whatever. I didn't have YouTube Premium. So
Every time someone makes a meme about him, says, hey, it's another like millions of dollars for him. Now everyone knows the whole world knows who Bad Bunny is.
I mean, to his credit, he was also like the #1 streaming artist on Spotify for 5 years. So I think
that
he
helps.
was known. Like,
yeah.
Like maybe it gave him a little bit of propaganda, but I think the most...
I was listening to him on the way here, like blasting it for Miami.
It's so catchy.
Like, everyone knows what he's saying. I don't. But,
You know what? When everyone was complaining that like, oh, this is not American and whatever, and I was just like, yes, it is. But then I realized I live in Miami. So
right. For like, you, Miami is Mexico. You're in Venezuela, Cuba, Mexico, Argentina right now.
Yeah, I mean, Debbie is Venezuelan.
I actually really like the show.
I'm sure.
I related to it so much.
You knew what he was saying.
Yeah.
I knew the words, but that was about it.
You understood the whole thing?
No, but by the way, Spanish speakers don't understand what he says.
Oh,
I'm not joking at all. Like, I cannot understand what he
hard rap.
Mumble rap.
It's what?
Mumble rap.
Mumble rap, yeah.
He's Spanish mumble rap.
Yeah.
Hey.
We've never discussed this much pop culture on here before. Maybe we're gonna get some new
Sorry,
viewers.
I feel like I'm bringing the
not at
umada
all.
of your Torah.
I actually think so. Part of the design of Tanach Tea is to bring Tanakh, you know, in like a way where it's like, it's not like you're listening to a share, because I think one of the amazing things about podcasts is if you look up like the stats, it's like 80% of people say they listen to podcasts because they enjoy it, and like 85% of people say they listen to like learn things, and it's like, what has that ever been an overlap? So
Interesting.
a podcast is like, you would never put on a share and like do the dishes,
Right.
but you would put on a podcast, and like you're driving in a car. So that's the point of the podcast, is kind of like give over a Torah in a podcast format. That's really the goal.
They're like the friends
keep
people
the
never
educational.
had.
It's just to throw the Torah at you. Like, I mean, even we've mentioned a bunch of.
I think we've talked a lot of Torah.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. I
But,
feel like we're not like the Chavrisa that just, it's just Bittul
Right.
Torah the whole time.
Right, the Bit to Torah podcast.
Yeah. That's your competitor right there.
Yeah, but we could talk about the Megillah a little more, but don't be afraid to take it back to Bad Money if you want. But
No, I want to hear more about the Megillah.
Okay, so I actually want to say just one thought to be like Chaim, like we did some Torah that I was thinking about. So when we read the Megillah, there's a couple lines that we say out loud.
Yeah.
Right, like everyone says it, and the first line is when Mordechai gets introduced, right? And I should probably pull up the line and be legit.
Nice. Look at those. Are those your highlights?
Yeah. So Dovi commented on that. So you're following
it's pretty good highlights.
Do you guys know each other? Do you guys
Intimately, yeah. In the biblical sense, yeah.
like David and
do a lot of
Jonathan
work together. They have good
knew
stuff.
each other?
Exactly.
So the line is Ish Yehudi Haya B'Shushan Abira Ushmo Mordechai Ben Yair Ben Shimi Ben Kish Ish Yemini. There is a Jewish man in Shushan Habira whose name was Mordechai Ben Yair Ben Shimi Ben Kish Ish Yemini, a Benjamin man. It seems like a regular line that we're just talking about Mordechai, but it's a jam-packed line with so much depth for so many reasons. First of all, he's called Ish Yehudi, but then he's also called Yemini, a Benjamin. I know now we think of are you a Levi or a Cohen?
Neither nor.
So,
I'm just a good guy.
Yeah, so you know what Shevet you're from?
Yeah. I'm an Israelite.
Israelite?
The common folk.
Through and through. Yeah, I'm a man of the people, baby. Man of the people.
If you had to guess which Shevet you are, which one would you say you are?
Oh, of like the 12 Shvatim?
Yeah.
I like Don, just because it's easy to say.
You know they were the worst one.
Really?
Yeah.
They were the
I'm a
first one to
bad
do
boy.
a
I'm a
Avodah
Slytherin.
Zarah.
What do you want?
They are, they're a snake.
Yeah.
Don is a snake.
Is a snake?
Just nailed that
Yeah,
accidentally.
J.K. Rowling was ripping from Tanakh. Ripping.
You didn't know that when you said that you're Slytherin?
No, I didn't.
Just accidentally landed on it.
I don't believe in accidents in this world. It's called Hashgacha Pratis. I'm like a single woman in her late 30s.
That reminds me.
Everything's for a reason. It's gonna happen.
You know who would have an amazing podcast? The Snake. That would be gaslighting 101
from Adam and
Chava.
Eve. Yeah.
That would be a podcast where a bunch of half truths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just like things that are kind of right but not right.
This is brought to you by the apple tree.
right.
By the way, I read. I'm not sure if it was Rashi or whatever, but he said the snake had arms.
Yeah, arms
Yeah.
and legs and spoke.
And that I always wondered like how a slimy snake could convince like the first lady to do disgusting things. And I'm not talking about like Melania Trump. I mean like the slimy snake, like the first lady Chava.
Yeah.
But like because like imagine you're a slimy snake, like you know you're a lady at a bar. Imagine that, and a snake comes up to you and is like, "Hey, you want to come eat from that tree?" You'd be like, "No, you freak."
Apparently,
But
the
then-
snake skin looked like our skin.
Looked like our skin.
And our skin used to be our fingernails, and we got demoted from fingernails to skin, and they got demoted from human skin. This is what the Mamla says in the Sefer. And
So we
they got
just looked like I don't know, calcium.
Well, it's so you.
I
do
think
you
it's
know,
like an evolution.
Do you know how we look at our fingernails on Friday night by Motzei Shabbos?
Yeah.
Why do we do that? The
To see if
Mamla
you need to
says
cut them.
is to remind you, because after coming out of Shabbos, you feel all good about yourself, and it's back into the week, and it's supposed to remind you that like you're not all that. Like you used to be all fingernails.
Just to be
but
all
apparently you do way
keratin.
better. Like I don't know if I would like call it by the scientific terms today. I know you probably know all the science. It's something mystical about it, like that we can't, because it's hard for me to imagine.
You're
this
saying
being
we used to be all fingernails?
the fingernails used to be our skin, and the human skin used to be the snake skin, and their punishment was to like have to reshed their skin all the time and lose their arms and legs. And
Wow.
yeah, I mean we could jump into
That's
other
interesting.
macabre
I mean,
right now.
is that not like an evolutionary kind of standpoint that we did evolve in some capacity?
I don't think we're anti-evolution per se.
Oh, I am, but yeah.
Are you? Do you have an opinion on the matter?
Yeah, dinosaur bones they were planted to test our free will. I have a few rabbis that genuinely believe it.
I have a much better
And they're
take
smart
on that.
guys.
I have a much better take on that if you'll allow me
Yeah, please.
to say it, and then you could, if you want to believe the first one, you can.
Okay.
But I mean, maybe that's a good one. I don't know, but I like this one better, which is if you visited Adam and Chava like 2 weeks after they were born, right? Well, they weren't born; they were created. You would, as a scientist, you would look at them and you say that is a 20-year-old man, and you would look at Chava and say that is a 20-year-old woman. And there's actually a machloket whether or not Adam had a belly button, because what does scientifically a belly button suggest? That you were in your mother's womb.
Oh,
What came
wow.
first, the chicken or the egg? The answer is the chicken. So scientifically speaking, when Adam is 1 year old, you are going to call him 21 years old. So your science is not correct, because even though he appears scientifically to have had a childhood, he was created as an adult. And just like he exhibits signs of being a child but never actually was, so too the world was created as an adult. So its belly button would be dinosaur bones and all these signs of millions of years. Its childhood would be millions of years, but it was created as an adult, just like Adam and Chava were. That is my personal favorite answer to.
I don't know if I
explain that.
followed that at all.
Okay, I'm gonna say it.
Or maybe
I mean, I'm saying for your followers. I
yeah.
obviously knew that the first time around that you said it.
So Adam,
For the listeners back home, maybe they want to hear it again.
what about the
so.
dinosaur bones were the animals of the giants from the flood?
well, I want to re-explain this just so I don't.
You guys are
bring it.
confusing me to an extraordinary level.
So okay, you look at Adam. He's 2 hours old.
Okay.
But scientifically speaking, you're not going to look at that guy and say he's 2 hours old. He exhibits the science of having a childhood, right? You look at that guy and you say that guy's 20. It must be that he was born 20 years ago. He was created 2 hours ago. So the science in that scenario lies to you, because he wasn't born, he was created as an adult. And even though he will exhibit signs of childhood, it never existed, actually, because he was created as an adult. So too the world, you can say, was created as an adult. What is the world? What is an adult world? Millions, billions of years, dinosaur bones instead of a belly button, and so on and so forth. So even though the world is only 6,000 years old, almost, B'ezrat Hashem, 5,786 years old, it appears like a 20-year-old world, which for the world would be millions and billions of years. Wow. So that would be the logic. Adam was created as an adult. The world was created as an adult.
Mind blown. I'm gonna re-listen to this.
So we never
on
we
0.5 speed.
We never lost our fur.
Depends. If you're Sparty, you've never lost it.
We never lost the fur. Yeah. We're farther up in the chimp tree.
We're top of the tree, baby. You see those Tom chicken nuggets we just had?
Tens. I don't know why you keep forgetting.
Because Chaim is like pasty. So I'm like, why is it called Tens?
Tens. It's tens, like tenders.
Oh, now I get it. Okay, got it.
But Taim would be maybe better.
Yeah, Chaim.
Maybe you should ask them for a sponsorship and to change their
I'm
name.
going to be sponsored by Chicken Nuggets. Bezrat Hashem. And Salah.
So the snake I think would have a fantastic podcast.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your question about the skin and the arms and the legs.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, again, because you have, I think so many people get caught up in the Torah Deoraita, like the Torah itself. And like we're people that firmly believe that it comes with an oral Torah as well. And a rabbi component. So for all you people criticizing the Torah, why don't you read the commentary for once, okay? Shout out Rashi.
Yeah. Shout out Rashi, Rambam, all the guys.
So what do we have on the Megillah?
So it calls him a Jewish man from the tribe of Benjamin. Now, I know we think of Jews as like all 12 tribes nowadays, but the truth is in Tanakh times, a Jew was from Shevet Yehuda. Yehudi was just from Shevet Yehuda. A Levi is just from Shevet Levi. A Binyamin is just from Shevet Yemini is just from Shevet Binyamin. Jew is one tribe. It's come to the term as all 12 tribes. Who's the first person in Tanakh to be called a Jew? It's Mordechai, right here in this sentence. It's the first time someone is called a Jew when they are in fact not Jewish. So by the strictest sense of the term, right? Meaning if you're from Shevet Dan like you think you are, by the technical term of the word Jewish,
you're Danish,
you are
Danish.
not Jewish, right? Jewish has come to mean from all 12 tribes, but technically it's one tribe, just Shevet Yehuda. So why is it doing that? So one answer is the basic historical answer, the less fun answer, which is that the Purim story takes place right after the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed, and Mordechai comes from the kingdom of Yehuda. It was split into two kingdoms, Yisrael and Yehuda, and the 10 tribes from Yisrael were lost in the north, and therefore everyone from the kingdom of Yehuda became known as Judeans, and then we became known as Jews since then. That's the practical answer, but there's an amazing answer over here, because if you look at this line over here, it says his name was Mordechai ben Yair ben Shimi ben Kish. And it's like when we introduce people, we don't go back that many generations. Like imagine I call you up to the Torah and I say, Mordechai ben Yair ben Shimi ben Kish. Everybody's like, all right, guys, like, we stop at the dad. Like chill out, right? Like when do we see this in Tanakh? Where
who's Yair, by the way? Is Yair someone famous?
Yair's his dad. Yair's his dad. But here's the thing. Shimi is not his grandfather. And Kish is not his great-grandfather. Shimi's 400 years before, and Kish is also a little over 400 years before. So who are these people that they're calling out? So Shimi is amazing. Shimi is a man named Shimi ben Gera. Now, who is Shimi ben Gera? Shimi ben Gera, Devi's smiling because she learned all Tanakh. Shimi ben Gera is when David's son took over his kingdom. David had a son named Avshalom, who threw a coup against his own father when his dad was already in his 60s. I actually think he was 67, so we could hit that for all the high schoolers. Nice. And he actually he would have started a podcast, Avshalom. That's how he gets everybody to follow him. He's
I can't believe we never thought of that. Long hair.
Yeah, Avshalom would have a great podcast, a great podcast cover with the long hair, and he's extremely good looking. But he slept with 3 of David's wives, kicked his dad out. His dad goes to modern day Jordan on the run. But on his way out, this man Shimi ben Gera starts throwing rocks at David HaMelech. And he starts cursing him and calls him a murderer and an adulterer and this insult and that insult. And all of David's men are like, listen, I know your son took over the kingdom, but you are David HaMelech. Like, this is not allowed. Like, he deserves death. Let me kill this dog. That's what one of his advisors says. And David says, no, he's speaking the words of Hashem. I'm being punished right now, and Hashem wants me to hear this. And he lets him live. And then 6 months later, when David defeats his son and is on his way back in, who's the first person at the border welcoming him back? Shimi ben Gera. Long live the king. I knew that you would win. This and that, everything. And of course, David's advisors are like, David, all of a sudden now he's pretending that he's fan number one. Like he's just trying to make up for what he did on the way out. On what he was waiting your whole kingdom for you to be on the way down, and he didn't think you'd be on the way back up. Now I'm up, and now so they're like, let's kill this dog. And David says, no, this is the words that Hashem wants me to hear. Wow. Now that I've been forgiven, Hashem wants me to hear that. But here's what's amazing: David has mercy on this guy. This guy deserved death, right? When David is on his deathbed and he's talking to Shlomo, he tells Shlomo, after I die, I need you to kill Shimi ben Gera. And it's like, wait a second. I thought you had mercy on this guy. Like, why do you want him to be dead? And it seems like he's been holding on to a grudge, and it's cruelty. It's actually mercy of the highest order. Why? You know, when the Torah says that a person has chayiv misa, why do they get chayiv misa? What's the point of that? The point of that is that they've done something that is so bad for their soul that they don't want to take that with them into the next world. It'll be bad in the next world. So you want their punishment, their death, to be a form of kapara for their soul. Nadav and Avihu, who brought the illegal carbon and the incense and whatever into the Bet HaMikdash, Aaron's children were the biggest tzaddikim. That's why they died, so they can go into heaven scot-free. So David, why is he doing this? Because as long as he's alive, he didn't want to kill Shimi because he didn't want it to seem like he cared. It was about his own honor. But from Shimi's perspective, Shimi ben Gera's perspective, he insulted the king, the office of the king, and he deserves to die. David cannot, just because David is having mercy on him doesn't mean he can let him go to the grave without experiencing that death. It's good for his soul. And once David's dead and out of the picture, and it's clearly not personal, now kill Shimi ben Gera. And the reason why this is amazing, why is it quoted here? The reason why it's quoted here is because had David not had mercy on Shimi and let him live out his life, Mordechai never exists. Mordechai ben Yair ben Shimi. This is not his grandfather. This is 400 years before that. And
what if Shimi already had his kids, or clearly not?
He didn't. David let him live a life. And the very fact that Mordechai exists is because of David HaMelech. Who is David HaMelech? Yehudi, the ultimate Yehudi, the king of Yehuda and of Israel. Wow. So Ish Yehudi, it's referring to him as a Jewish man because he might as well be from Sheva Yehuda. He only exists because of the guy from Sheva Yehuda. Wow. The reason why this gets even more amazing is because then what's the point of Ben Kish? Well, if the name Kish sounds familiar, Shaul's father's name is Kish. This is Shaul's dad. Mordechai and Esther are descendants of Shaul HaMelech. They are royal. Esther is not accidentally chosen to be queen. She has royal blood, Jewish royal blood. That's why Shimi ben Gera had a problem with David, because Shimi ben Gera is from the house of Kish. Why is this important? Because Shaul, what was his big mess up? We talked about him being bipolar. What was his big mess up that Hashem was done with him? That he had misplaced mercy. That he didn't kill Amalek.
So Mordechai corrected the error.
So the very fact that Haman, the bad guy in the story, exists is because of Shaul's mistakes. So it's going to have to be his descendant to clean up the mess. Mordechai has to finish what his Zaidi, his great Zaidi didn't end. But what's amazing about this is that the hero and the villain of this story exist for the same reasons. Haman only exists because of Shaul's misplaced mercy. That's Ben Kish over here. And Mordechai, the hero to the story, only exists because of David's correct mercy.
Wow.
And you see how people think nowadays, people think, especially
Rachem.
that like you have mercy on everyone and whatever. But if you are merciful to the cruel, then you will be cruel to the merciful. We see that nowadays with the Israel-Palestine situation, where people are they're merciful to Hamas and end up being cruel to Jews and to Israel. How could they be so, you're talking about like, how could they be so intense? It's because when you put yourself out of balance like that, Shaul went and killed Amalek, and then he killed the city of Kohanim, chasing after David HaMelech. If you are merciful to the cruel, you will be cruel to the merciful. Wow. And so that's why Haman exists, and Haman himself doesn't present like a bad guy. Like he presents in the story, if you read the story straight up, like yeah, he's trying to commit genocide, but it's not like the way you think of like a villain, so to speak. He
was a white collar anti-Semite.
Right, exactly. It wasn't barbaric. It was German, right? It was blonde hair, blue eye style, right? It was by the book, right? And that's because he's a product of mercy, if that makes sense. And so I think this line that we say out loud, we just think, we're introducing Mordechai, but it's such a powerful line of like how to have correct mercy and how it dictates the very existence of this story to begin with.
Beautiful.
And so yeah,
I'll be bringing that back to my Shabbos table. That's
amazing. I'm so happy.
Say that again. Be merciful to the cruel and cruel to the merciful.
If you are merciful to the cruel, you will be cruel to the merciful. And when Shaul didn't kill Agag, the king of Amalek, Haman's Zaidi, there was a boss call that came out from Shemaim that said that line. And then a couple of years later, Shaul, when he's chasing David, kills out an entire city of Kohanim because David came through and took some bread. It's like, how can that be the same person? How can it be the same person that's crying over a Palestinian kid? Not to Lahavdil, don't want to be disrespectful to Shaul, because Shaul is an amazing guy. But the lesson, like, how could a person who's being so merciful to this Palestinian kid that cares so much can be so cruel to the Israeli kid? That's what that is. you put yourself out of balance and it flips back on the other side. And so that's I think one of the most powerful lessons from the Purim story.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You should have
amazing,
opened with
amazing.
that. Oh my god! I hope people lasted this long into the podcast to hear
Through all
that.
of our pointless
The
talking and our banter,
all the goshmias and whatever.
We're 45 minutes in. We spent like a couple minutes on Bad Bunny. I hope we didn't lose anybody. Yeah.
Wow, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you.
What about where's Mishloach Manot come from?
I mean, it says it in the Megillah. At the very end of the Megillah, it says it in the Megillah. It's actually interesting. Esther, when Achashverosh makes the party, he makes a party after Esther becomes queen, and Esther has this he wants to invite everyone. He wants to celebrate Esther. When he married Vashti, that was the original party. He invited everyone, and he tells Esther, "I'm going to invite everyone," and Esther says, "Don't do that." Because when you invite everyone, yeah, it's great for poor people to go to the king's meal, but they have to buy a suit and they have to do this and they have to do that. And so she says, why don't you just give people gifts? Instead of the money that you would spend on feeding people here and they have to spend their own money to come here, use that money to give people tax breaks and gifts and everything like that. And so I would say, Mordechai and Esther are literally the one who instituted Mishloach Manot and the things that we do on permits at the very end of the Megillah. And maybe that's Esther's, it feels like in the same breath of just about thinking about everyone around you.
Right.
So,
but now we're just giving expensive gifts to outdo the people giving the poor gifts,
So
and then people are
Rambam's-
judging our gifts.
right, Rambam says
One guy
that you
gets
should
a
spend
fruit
more
basket,
money.
the next guy gets like
Yeah,
a
it's
nice
bad.
schnapps and whatever.
What is the best Shalach Manos you can get?
I could tell you the worst, and
Yeah.
that's gonna be dried fruit, especially if you're a kid. If you're a kid, and I mean, it's all about the candy trading. You get all your Mishloach Manot at night. You're trading for all the good candy. If you're stuck with the bags of dried fruit, I mean, come on.
Who are you going to give that to also?
Who are you trading it? Yeah, exactly. Unless you just keep that and hope it accrues in value, but I don't think it does. You're not trading the dried mango 10 years down the line. That's the worst.
But if you're like 30, I think that dried mango hits.
If
no?
you're 30, dried mango hits. Yeah. No, there's a time and place for the dried fruit, but it's not when you're an 8-year-old.
You got to hold on to it for a long time. It'll accrue in value, like 22
Exactly.
years.
Yeah, it's proper stuff.
Yeah.
No, when you're a kid, you need the junkiest.
You need junky.
Like, you need just lollipops, Hershey's.
I like a mix. Yeah, I like a lollipop Hershey's mix. I don't want like lollipop sour sticks, too much sour. I need sweet and sour, savory, sweet, sour. Get the mix of the
all the biggest cavity creators.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's coming from the dentist.
Right?
Yeah. As a dentist, can you tell us the best, worst candies that we could get for Mishloach Manot?
What makes you the most money?
The most money, the sticky candies.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's not kosher, but like an example is like the warheads, but like sour sticks are bad. The ones that are sticky and that you suck on with all the sugar on
and you
them.
really feel your teeth hurting after those.
Yeah.
too. Like your teeth are yelling out in pain. You're just brushing it with a strawberry sour.
The ones that make your tongue blue also, like
where you feel like your tongue's gonna fall, like it's scraping off.
yeah,
your tongue.
like it hurts.
What about jaw breakers? Because then you're affecting your jaw and you're breaking your teeth. Isn't that a double whammy? Do you know jaw breakers?
Yeah, the one like you've seen Ed and Eddie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the one where it's like foaming out the mouth. Yeah,
And that's just a ball of sugar, right? That you're just.
that's
keeping
just
in
a
your-
ball of sugar. I mean, but not good.
All right. So now I know what I'm getting.
Yeah,
Jaw breakers,
sour sticks.
sour sticks.
Or you should give him your card after.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. You should give Mishloach Manot suggestions and then also say, by the way, I'm a dentist, so you could, take advantage. Smart.
By the way, shout out to I do this before every Purim, but shout out
Create
to
a fire to put it out.
Exactly.
Party.
Smart man. Shout out to who?
Debbie's family throws like the best Purim party.
Oh yeah.
Like-
do you have to dress up to?
Have to dress up.
Yeah.
She dressed up last year as a bottle of Tubi.
Oh, that's funny. What are you dressing up as this year? Do you have it? Is it
Yeah.
secret? You don't want to.
Can't tell them.
The Tanach Tea listeners.
I don't know what
I'm
gonna
gonna dress up as Tanach Tea. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
You can wear.
Like you could be the tree or you could be the tea.
Yeah, dress up as some tea.
By the way, I'll take Purim ideas. Actually, you're a comedian, so I feel like you're creative, and I'll tell you. Last episode we had Leah Bahar, Eve's Gardeners. I don't know if you know her, but you should go on her podcast.
Big
She's
fan.
got a
Big
great
fan.
podcast.
Yeah.
And she always starts her episode with "Welcome to the Garden." And I was trying to figure last week we joked like how should we welcome people to this podcast? Like what should we call it? And then listeners actually started like texting
Nice.
like what to call it, but there were no good suggestions. I mean,
what to call like when you say welcome
to yeah, the tea room is like too straight up.
Right.
Somebody said the steeping room. Shout out to Kiva Unger.
Oh, the steeping room. Okay,
But
that's
it's like
nice.
nobody knows what that is.
Right.
So I figured
Not a fan.
If I have someone creative here, let me try to walk out of this with like
Well, you gotta
a
when
permanent-
you're working on a bit, you gotta explore like the world. So you have tea. What's involved in tea? Steeping, caffeine, hot water, sipping.
You could also do the Tanakh.
The dip, something with the dip. Herbal.
Welcome to the tent.
Welcome to the tent.
Too basic.
Yeah, that's a little too basic. I don't know about that.
So I could never beat out Eve's Gardeners with her "Welcome to the Garden."
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Right.
sound like Tanakh and tea.
Yeah.
You had the alliteration, and I told you, Jews
Yes.
love alliteration. If you call it like microphone and Mashiach, as long as the first letter and the first letter match, every Jewish event ever is just going to be how much like every Hanukkah is always just going to be like Hanukkah and kangaroos. Like it's always going to be that.
But can I tell you, I've seen a bunch of Tanakh and Torah and teas. I've seen that all the time.
Yeah,
I've
Torah and
never
tea.
seen Tanakh and tea. So
Yeah.
we're keeping our own.
Tanakh is more inside baseball. I like that. Because Torah, people are familiar, but Tanakh, it is broader, but also more specific. You know what I'm saying? Nevi'im Ketuvim.
And
Nevi'im.
after we end Tanakh, we're gonna do Talmud and tea.
Oh yeah, wow, you
mean,
got
I
a
don't
lot
know.
to go. Can I maybe end off on a joke I've been telling that?
Absolutely.
And I don't know if it's so. I learned. Shout out to the Upper East Side Kollel, where I frequent when I don't have dinner, but also want to learn. Obviously, that's more.
That's why
important.
you came here, because you didn't.
That's
have
why I
dinner.
came here. Yeah, that's why I drove an hour and a half here. It was for the tea and tens.
Miami traffic is terrible, right?
Why does it take me an hour to drive 10 miles? I can walk that in an hour.
Dude, it took me.
You know why? Because everyone moved here since COVID.
Those New Yorkers won't stop coming down. I hate them. Can't stand them. Okay, so I was learning Gemara Sota, which is, as we know, the most entertaining of the Gemaras. I mean, everyone says Brachot is the easiest. I think Sota is so entertaining.
You know the Willy Wonka?
like this.
I call it the Willy Wonka.
It's that entertaining.
When the have you ever seen the Willy
like people are
Wonka?
exploding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Literally.
Violet, you're turning violet. It's like, Miriam, you're exploding. Okay, so it says, and I'm misquoting it a bit, but and I've literally started doing this in my stand-up shows for non-Jews, and they love it. So I say that, I talk about the Talmud, and in Sota, it talks about the amount of time that it takes for your wife to cheat on you, basically. And so one rabbi says the amount of time that it takes to cook an egg, which I always find that's such a specific time. Like, is his wife cheating on him and he's like about to go in and confront the guy, or he just like, he hears it and then he goes to cook an egg and be like, once this is done, I could do it. So one rabbi says one egg. The next rabbi says the amount of time it takes to eat an egg. Hilarious. And then the third rabbi says the amount of time it takes to eat 3 eggs, because I guess whatever, his wife took a while or something like that. And then they go through this for about like 10 dots, like 10 pages. They're going back and forth about the amount of time that
Never gets resolved, I bet.
it never gets resolved. What's it called in the Torah in Gemara when it doesn't get resolved? Like, well, no one.
I'm blanking on it.
Whatever.
Right now.
You could edit that in.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
could just stand there as
Yeah.
a standalone. All of a sudden, it
Is
cuts
it-
to you.
is
You're
it
like,
Teiku?
actually, it's.
Is it Teku?
Yeah. So the answer, which isn't really an answer, is it will only be resolved when Mashiach comes. This egg debate. And I'm just so excited, like, when Mashiach comes, everyone's going to have these deep philosophical questions for him. Why do good things happen to bad people? Why do people suffer? He's going to look at us. He's just going to be like, 3 eggs. I cannot wait for the 3-egg moment.
So if a genie came to you and said, you could ask me any question you
I
want.
want to know how many eggs it takes for my wife to cheat on me. That's what I want to know.
You should know, speaking of eggs and wives cheating on people,
I don't know how you're going to do this. I don't know how you're going to do this, but keep going.
when Ashes Potiphar tries to seduce Yosef
Yeah.
and she wants to frame him, not only does she use the coat that she has in hand, but she cracks an egg on the bed to make it look like sperm. That way when Potiphar comes back, that's part of her claim.
Oh
and
my
how does he know
God.
she's lying? Like, why doesn't he kill Yosef? Because he knows his wife is lying. He just throws Yosef in jail to save face. How
Right.
does he know? He takes a flame to the egg. And what happens to it? It cooks.
Yeah.
If it was sperm, it would just dissolve into the bed. But it's an
Oh
egg
my
white, so
God.
it cooks, and that's why Ashes Potiphar was lying.
He also-
You did not think I could transition
So an
that.
omelet saved Yosef's life. Wow. Shout out omelet. Shout out tens.
You did not think I could take wife cheating on you in an egg
No.
and bring it back to Tanakh.
I didn't know when the egg was coming in, but the egg came in hot. That's incredible. Excellent. Yeah, very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
Anyway, so unless we have any other eggs or wives cheating on people to talk
I
about,
don't have any more wives or eggs.
anything else you want to plug? While you're here.
Follow at Mikey Greenblatt on Instagram, or delete your Instagram, honestly, because it's Bittul Torah and you're not really getting that much out of it. But if you are going to keep it, follow at Mikey Greenblatt. Hire me for your shows. I do clean kosher comedy, the highest hashgacha, OU Mahadran. None of that triangle K comedy, all right? I'm strictly by the books. And yeah, hire me and follow me and love me. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
This was great.
Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, I got to learn Torah on a podcast. I've never really gotten to do that.
Very, very casual the way I slipped the Torah in there. So.
No, yeah. Listen, when you were able to bring in the eggs at that end there, you won me over. I'm like, this guy's gonna make it. You know, like the rabbis that start off like, it was game 7 of the World Series. First pitch, ball. Second pitch, ball. Third pitch, strike. Anyways, in this week's Parsha, and I'm like, what? There's no connection. I have this bit in my stand-up where I talk about like how hard it was because I gave an Uffer speech for my brother and his Parsha's in Vayikra, and like trying to connect his Parsha in Vayikra to like a wedding. And I'm like, in this week's Parsha, we learned that if you turn out not to be a virgin, you get stoned to death. Mazel tov, and I wish you the best with your wife, like on a happy long marriage. And it's like this. Like, you got nothing in Vayikra, so I think that was very impressive. I might use you for my next wedding speech to connect it. Yeah,
call me in.
Very good.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, and goodbye from the tea room.
There's got to be a better way. The Chaim from the tea room or something.
Yeah.
Or you just say, what's the blessing you say after you finish eating? Borei. Not
Nefashot.
Birkat Hamazon. Yeah,
Borei
Borei Nefashot. Maybe you just end it with Borei, like say the whole Borei Nefashot every time.
Maybe.
Well, I'm about to eat more tens, so.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
I've been trying to get through this podcast, honestly.
trying to end it.
Tens was on my mind from the get-go.
57 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm
like,
like, when are you connecting
back
this Torah to tens? Like,
yeah.
Ten.
All right, goodbye
Tanach
from
and
Tanach and
tens.
tens. Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.